Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you very much for coming out this evening. As you saw, I stood up when Senator Nodla asked for veterans. I'm a retired United States Marine, and I'm a disabled vet as well. I served our nation both in the State Department and as a Marine. In the State Department, I worked as an embassy guard. For those people who understand a little bit about that, it's the Marines that guard the embassies around the world. A lot of people think, oh, they're just out there in their funny dress blues. Well, that all stopped about 1983 when they blew up the embassy. And ever since then, we've been on the front lines of terrorism and dealing with the Al-Qaeda, the Hamas, and the threats that face our nation today. I jumped in this race for many of the same reasons you've already heard here tonight. I've been serving our nation since I was 19 years old. I want to serve again. I can't stand to stand by and watch what our nation is doing. When the Founding Fathers first envisioned this country, they envisioned the people on the top, the states second down on the list, and the central government, if you will, on the bottom. Today, we don't have that. Today, Washington, D.C. is trying to run the show. That's not what our Founding Fathers had envisioned. John Adams, and I'm going to paraphrase him, said something like, even the poor, the mean, and the worthless have the same right to breathe air, eat food, and see the light, just as the nobles or the king. Tell me if we're not developing that today. We have become so dependent upon the federal government when the federal government was supposed to be dependent on the states. This is a direction that is going in the wrong way. I want to lead the fight in Washington for you. I understand diplomacy. Granted, as a Marine, my end of diplomacy is a little different than most of the State Department. My idea is sticking a gun in somebody's face and saying, do it my way. But nevertheless, thank you. And sometimes that needs to happen. I've worked overseas. I speak Japanese fluently, although my French has been waning lately. When the war in Afghanistan started, they asked me to go back, even though I was injured, and I said, no, I couldn't do it. I felt it was the wrong thing for me to do because I didn't want to lead young men and young women into battle and have to be responsible for their actions if I wasn't able to lead them. That's when I came back to the United States and I met my wife who's from the area, and we moved here, and we now have a 2.5-year-old daughter. My friends tease me because I'm 44 years old, and they're like, Michael, you're crazy. You're 44. We're having grandkids. I said, yes, but my wife's 9 years younger than me. She's a good Christian woman. I love her very much. She is the bread to my butter and the air in my lungs. Nicole, I love you. Thank you very much for your support. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope to get your support too on August 3rd. November would be nice too. And November, that's right.